Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me today. I'm Justin Schleifer. I'm the founder and president of Aspect Advisors. Aspect is a compliance and back office consulting firm for fund managers and investment advisors of all different shapes, sizes, and strategies. Today, we're here to specifically talk to people who manage private funds, and we're here to help understand your regulatory obligations as it relates to filing a Form ADV. This is meant for firms that are an exempt reporting advisor, meaning that they're not a registered investment advisor, but do still have a reporting obligation. Registered firms are going to have additional obligations beyond what we're going to discuss today. So if you have any questions about that, stay tuned and we can talk about that another time. For today, again, we're going to talk about what is an ADV. An ADV is a public filing made by any fund manager that is going to be filing as an exempt reporting advisor in a jurisdiction that requires the filing. The SEC maintains a website where information can be found about these advisors, and you can search for any firm that's filed an ADV in the past. That means that the ADV is a public filing, so you should be aware of what kind of information is going to be available for public searching. This is used to disclose your regulatory status, including the exemption that you're making use of, and other material information about the advisory business to any investors and prospective investors that you might come in contact with. In fact, registered investment advisors also have a requirement to deliver their Form ADV to their investors and prospective investors. As an exempt reporting advisor, you do not have that delivery requirement. The Form ADV includes basic information about the manager firm, including contact information and information about your internet presence, including websites and social media addresses that are used for the firm. You also have to include formation information about what type of legal entity you are and when you formed your business. And you also have to include information about the ownership of your investment manager entity, not about the fund specifically. You also, however, have to include high-level information about any funds, including SPVs, that you might manage. That would include the type of fund, for example, hedge fund, venture capital fund, private equity fund, etc. You have to include information about the types of investors that you have, be they accredited, institutional, etc. You also have to provide aggregate data about the investor base, including where the investors might be located, US or non-US, the total number of investors you have on a per fund basis, and other types of similar statistics. You also have to provide the total assets under management on a fund by fund basis, and you have to list out the service providers that the fund uses. As far as the filing obligation, when do you have to do it? For an initial filing, that depends on the state in which the manager is located and the assets under management that you have. Some states actually do not require a Form ADV filing at all as long as you meet certain other requirements. If you do have to file a Form ADV, it's generally required within 60 days of finding yourself in need of using one of the exemptions, including launching your first fund. After you've made your initial filing, you're required to make an annual amendment filing within 90 days of the end of your fiscal year, which is usually by March 31st of every calendar year. And you also are required to make changes and amendment filings throughout the year if there are any types of material changes, for example, around your contact information, ownership of the manager, any type of disciplinary disclosures, including legal actions, and also changes to your regulatory status. If any of those occur throughout the year, you are required to make an amendment prior to the annual amendment period the following year. One note for you is that simply adding or launching a new fund does not constitute a material amendment that is required to be done promptly. You can wait until the end of the year for your annual amendment to add new vehicles. If you have any questions about this, about your filing obligations, or if you would like assistance with doing an initial ADV filing or an amendment filing, please feel free to reach out to us at sales@aspectadv.com. Thank you very much, and I look forward to talking to you more in the future.